Marvel is back, baby, this time by the hands of Sony and Arc System Works with a new take on the tag fighting game genre, challenging you to learn a 4v4 game while at the same time making one of the most accessible fighting games for newcomers. My name's Globku and this is my review for Marvel TOKON Fighting Souls. Marvel TOKON is a 4-character tag game where your whole team has a single health bar, meaning that, unlike most tag games, you don't need to learn how to play your entire team before you jump online. You can focus on learning your favorite character and just use 3 others as your assists without ever tagging them in. At the highest level, you will need to utilize all 4 characters as the act of tagging gives you access to better mix-up and combo options, but since you can start by just playing one single character, this is something you can ease into as you gain more and more experience. Your team isn't always available to you though. You start every match with only 2 characters and you must assemble the others either by losing rounds or by slamming opponents through walls using specific special moves or throwing opponents near the corner. Sometimes this will trigger a stage transition and return to neutral, others it will cause a wall slump. It depends on the stage you're playing in. Assembling doesn't just give you more assists and characters, it also unlocks more of your assemble gauge, which is used for some actions using your team, more meter giving you access to bigger super attacks, and it even increases your overall health. These system mechanics mean the player is always faced with a choice every time they open up their opponent. Do you go for damage, for Oki, or for assemble? Finding the right answer here is part of what's gonna make you a better TOKON player. The game launched with 21 characters in total, and the whole roster feels simultaneously deep as well as simplistic. You can go really hard on a specific character and find a lot of options that no other character can do, but it's also very easy to just try someone that you've never played before, as every character shares the same special move input motions, and there are a few universal combo routes that will work with most of the cast. On top of that, the game makes itself very beginner friendly by adding auto combos and 1-button specials, which deal 10% less damage compared to the manual input motions. It's a game with enough depth to keep the expert FGC veteran grinding for hours, while at the same time being one of the most welcoming fighting games for beginners. A balance that's very hard to strike, but Marvel TOKON does it really well. However, it also has some unusual rules that can take a while to get used to if you're coming from other fighting games. For instance, on the ground you're limited to 4 attacks before doing a special move, so if you do 2 lights and 2 mediums, the heavies won't come out. If you want to combo into heavy, you must omit one of those lights or medium attacks. It takes a while to get used to that, but in time you'll learn to accept this as one of its rules. I'm a bit more torn on the assist calls, however. Often it feels like you press the button to summon the assist and the assist just doesn't come out. This is because there are some strict timings on where you can and cannot call assists. They vary with the character and special move you used, but it always feels like you did something and the game didn't quite respond. I also feel like very often I'm getting special moves I didn't intend to get, mostly because the game's buffered some motion and when I hit the button the motion was still there. Maybe an issue with the input reader or the buffer system, but I know that I'm definitely not alone in these complaints. Still, I like this game a lot. It feels fresh and unique while being familiar at the same time. It has an Arc System Works feel to it while doing a bunch of mechanics that I've never seen in any fighting game before. A game this fresh had to include some good learning tools, and Marvel TOKON is one of the best to ever do it. In the traditional training mode, you can find a lot of options you expect, like training dummy behaviors, counterattack options, damage and frame data, as well as save states. All of this can be customized with shortcuts as well, so you can cycle through any option you want without even opening up the menu. It's one of the best training modes I've ever used. On top of that, you can save your replays and take over any moment of the match. Let's say you punished your opponent but dropped the combo. No worries, just take over that moment and see what you could have done differently. And you can do this not only for your replays, but for any other player that has uploaded their replays as well. On top of that, you have a lot of tutorials that go from covering the universal systems to specific character guides complete with combo trials. The game rewards you with a character color if you complete these as well. But if you want to go even deeper, you have to check out the level up missions. These are essentially combo puzzles that have you utilizing everything you have learned so far. It will give you some requirements like start a combo with this move and then do a super. But it's up to you to build a combo that clears that damage requirement. The game won't tell you how to do it, you have to build it yourself, and that's an incredible way of learning more about your character. Once you're ready, assemble your team and take it online. You've got the usual game modes of ranked and unranked, as well as private lobbies that hold up to 8 people. You also have open lobbies that look incredible. Not only can you play matches against other players here, you can also interact with many of the buildings and even play some mini-games. On top of that, there's a party game called Arcadia Rumble, where you play as your lobby avatars, running around and collecting power-ups so you can use them in battle against other players. You go through a few rounds of this, accumulating points in both phases until you determine a winner. A fun little party mode for sure, but since it's not the main focus of the game, filling up a lobby with 8 people can be pretty hard. Across the board, the game features rollback netcode and crossplay, as we've come to expect from 2D fighting games and Arc System Works, though this time it is less than perfect, especially if playing the PC version. Even though the port is getting better with patches, it's still not a very good version. Personally, I am playing and reviewing the game on PS5, but the bad PC port still affects my experience thanks to crossplay. Fighting someone on PC means you're flipping a coin on how good the experience will be. But even with those issues aside, it's not uncommon to see random spikes of rollback frames, and I've heard a few reports of desyncs, especially if you're trying to spectate a match between 2 other players. Arc System Works is responsible for some of the best rollback netcode I've ever experienced, so I really wasn't expecting to see them drop the ball in this aspect. That said, I don't want to be overly negative. Most of the matches I played online were completely fine. It's just that whenever you have one of these bad experiences, it can ruin your whole session. But if online isn't your thing, rest assured, there are plenty of single-player modes to sink your teeth into. Episode mode is the big single-player attraction. It's this game's story mode where you can go through the challenge of the champion through the perspective of one of the 5 teams in the game. Each story was drawn by a different artist, bringing their own visual twist to these characters that you get to experience through animated comic book strips, complete with voice acting. Even though the narrative is very simple and easy to follow, I loved seeing how each team faced the champion in the end and what they wished for after defeating him. Plus, this is the perfect setup for a few unique character interactions that had me laughing out loud.
Deadpool! Ruler of Asgard, wielder of the Odin Force, and Mjolnir.
It's a joy to meet the ruler of Asgard.
The gameplay side isn't that impressive, however. It's just simple battles versus the CPU, with only a couple of them being unique encounters along the way. Each story takes around an hour to clear, with some of them being slightly longer, so overall, this is a game mode you can expect to take about 6 hours to finish, and doing so unlocks new colors for each team you clear. On top of that, we have the All-Star Arena, which is this game's arcade mode. You pick one of the 5 team courses and go through it, selecting a few diverging paths. You're trying to reach one of the 4 different endings, each one unlocking a new character art. So it's encouraging you to finish each course about 4 times. You've got 4 difficulty options to choose from here, which not only will make the AI harder to beat, but also increase the number of buffs that they might have in battle. Finally, survival is way more than your typical fighting game survival mode. Doing well in battle levels up your team, and every 5 battles you have a boss fight. Leveling up or defeating bosses draws some cards that buff you, making this kind of a roguelike game mode. And if you manage to survive 100 battles without losing, you unlock a new color for your entire team. It's a bit long, and for the first 50 battles the CPU feels like a training dummy, so it takes a while to get to the fun part, but you can make some crazy builds as you work your way up to those 100 wins. Finally, I love all the small things they've added that are not exactly game modes, like the gallery full of artwork and the full soundtrack as well. They also have a very complete glossary with all the playable and side characters, as well as a relationship chart. Because the game is all about assembling a team of your favorite 4 Marvel characters, there's a good team building menu where not only can you save your favorite teams, you can also customize their winning poses and give them your own custom team name, which the announcer will yell at the start of every match.
Neighborhood Berserkers!
With how good this game looks, I really appreciated this level of customization, especially since you can set up different languages for each character, letting you mix and match your favorite voice actors. That's especially valuable since there are a ton of unique interactions between different characters that not only play out during intros and victory screens, but even during ultimate moves.
You know I love you, Snowflake! But I've got a job to do!
Marvel TOKON Fighting Souls feels fresh and deep while being one of the most accessible fighting games out there if you're completely new to the genre. A good single-player offering paired with a complete package of online features, stained only by the PC performance, the occasional netcode hiccups, and some input reader issues. 9 out of 10, 1 point short of a masterpiece status, but make no mistake, Marvel TOKON is a fantastic tag fighter for all skill levels. For more reviews, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you very much for watching. My name's Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye!